Hey everyone, let's jump right into a really significant opportunity that's just opened up at one of India's premier agricultural institutes, the ICAR IAR in New Delhi. If you're in the agricultural research field, you're going to want to pay close attention. So let's break down what's on the table. So, what makes this job posting so special? Well, for starters, this salary is seriously competitive. We're talking up to 67,000 rupees a month. But here's the real kicker. There is no written exam. That's right, your selection is based purely on a direct walk-in interview. It's a much more straightforward path to a great role. The organization doing the hiring is the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, a name that carries a lot of weight. Now, it's really important to understand that these are project-based, contractual positions. This means you'll be diving deep into specific, high-impact research projects for the duration of that work. Okay, let's get into the good stuff. In this first part, we're looking at the roles themselves and, of course, the rewards. We're going to break down the exact positions they're looking to fill and the kind of salary you can expect for each one. So let's just put the top number out there right away. The highest potential salary is 67,000 rupees a month, and that's plus your house rent allowance. For a research role, that is a fantastic figure, and it really shows how much they value the expertise needed for this project. All right, here's the full breakdown. They have one opening for a research associate, and you can see the salary depends on your qualifications plus HRA. Then there's one spot for a young professional -2 at a fixed 42,000. And finally, they're looking for two young professionals at the first level with a fixed salary of 30,000 rupees a month. So, now that you've seen the jobs and the money, the big question is, are you eligible? Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of the academic qualifications and the experience you'll need to have for each of these positions. Before we get into degrees and resumes, you need to know what this is all about. This isn't just some random lab work. You'd be joining the All India Network project on pesticide residues. That means your research is directly contributing to national food safety by monitoring pesticide levels in our agriculture. It's important work. All right. For that top-tier research associate role, the requirements are pretty specific, as you'd imagine. You need a PhD, or at the very least a master's degree with a solid 4 or 5-year bachelor's in either entomology or plant pathology. On top of the degree, you absolutely must have at least 3 years of research experience under your belt, and you need to have at least one research paper published. Now, for the young professional 2 spot. Here, they're looking for someone with a master's in a field like chemistry, food tech, or biotech. You'll also need 2 years of research experience. And here's a huge tip. They've specifically mentioned a preference for candidates who have hands-on experience with pesticide residue analysis using LCMS or GCMS. If that's you, make sure it's front and center on your application. And for the 2 young professional positions, the entry point is a bachelor's degree in a relevant science field, like agriculture or chemistry. You'll still need a minimum of 2 years of research experience. And again, they've given a hint about what they'd love to see: candidates who have a good mix of experience in both field trials and in the lab. Okay, so if you're watching this and thinking, hey, that's me, this next part is absolutely critical. We are going to walk through the exact step-by-step process for getting your application submitted correctly and on time. Don't skip this. They've laid it all out, but you have to follow these 5 steps to the letter. First, fill out the application form. Second, attach all your supporting documents. Now, this is crucial. Combine everything into one single PDF file. Don't send multiple attachments. Then email that single PDF to the right address, and make sure your subject line is just the name of the post you're applying for. And here is that all-important email address. Write it down, screenshot it, do whatever you need to do. It's pcnladelhi@gmail.com. Seriously, double-check the spelling before you hit send. Sending it to the wrong place or messing up the PDF format is the fastest way to get your application ignored. Getting this right is basically your first test. Now look at this timeline, because it is tight. You have to get your application emailed by 4 p.m. on February 16th, not a minute later. And then the walk-in interview for the people they shortlist is just 8 days after that, on February 24th. There is absolutely no time to mess around here. And for those of you who get shortlisted, this is where you need to be on interview day. It's room 203 in the LBS building, which is on the AIRI Pusa campus in New Delhi. It's a walk-in interview, so you have to be there in person. Start planning your trip now if you need to. And just to wrap up the logistics, let's look at a direct quote from the official notification. It says, late reporting candidates will not be allowed for the interview. There's no gray area there. It's simple. If you are late, you are out. Punctuality is everything.
So, there you have it. A great salary, a fast-track process with no written exam but very specific requirements, and a super tight deadline. The only question left is the one on your screen. Is your profile the right fit for this? If you think it is, you know exactly what you need to do next. Good luck!